ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं वादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत ततो जयमुदीरयेत। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। In previous talk, we were listening about background of Srimad Bhagavadgita. Today, we will ponder over Srimad Bhagavadgita Dhyanam. Srimad Bhagavadgita Dhyanam, or you can say that this is the invocation of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So, before we enter in this ocean of nectar, we have to make ourselves ready to read the Gita. We should be prepared for such divine song. We have 9 verses. These 9 verses are not the part of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. As we before learnt, Srimad Bhagavad Gita is the part of the Mahabharata. And there is a continuation. So there is no any meditation, invocation, but we should do some meditation because our mind is so restless. Our mind is not ready to listen Gita. That is why each 9 verses has been added. So you can say that this is the meditation of the Gita, or we can say that this is the invocation of the Gita. When we do some auspicious act, we do invocation. It should be like study of the Gita. There must be invocation. When we read Upanishads, there is Shanti part. Every Upanishad has. So in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we have 9 verses. As a Gita Dhyanam, or invocation of the Gita. Now, the question is, if these verses are not part of the Gita, then from where these verses has come? Who wrote them? So there is two writers, two authors. One author is Madhusudan Saraswati, and another name is Sridhar Swami. They both were very learned. Sridhar Swami, he wrote a commentary on the Srimad Bhagavadgita, and another name is Madhusudan Saraswati. So most of scholar agrees that Madhusudan Saraswati is author of the 9 verses. So who is the Madhusudan Saraswati? Madhusudan Saraswati was a great learned person. Madhusudan Saraswati was a highly qualified in line of the Advaita Vedanta. Highly. He wrote Advaita Siddhi. This text is very high level text in Vedanta line. And he was a great devotee, Sri Krishna too. He was a great devotee. And very famous verse you may have heard. And he says, Vansi Vibhushita Kara Navanirada Pitambara Dharuna Bimba Pala Tharushthat Purnendu Sundar Mukha Dharavinda Netrat Krishnat Param Kimapi Tattvamaham na jane. My point is only that in this verse he is saying, I know only Lord Sri Krishna as the supreme reality. The Sri Krishna is the supreme reality, absolute truth. I do not know apart from that, apart from the Lord Krishna, there is any other reality. He was contemporary of the Tulsidas. So these 9 verses are written by Madhusudan Saraswati. As a Gita Dhyanam, Gita meditation, we take one by one. So you open your book, you have been given PDF also. So just go through these verses. I chant here and you also chant, follow me. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayana Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhe Mahabharatam Advaitamrita Varshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashatyainim Ambatvam Manusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadvaishani. So this is the first verse. In this verse, Madhusudan Saraswati is saying about Srimad Bhagavad Gita. He says, what Bhagavad Gita is? Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam. Bhagavad Gita is which was taught to Arjuna by Lord Narayana himself. Narayan means Krishna. Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina, and which was written by the epic sage Vyasa. in the middle of the Mahabharata. Advaitamrita Varshini, the Mother Gita, who showers the nectar of Advaita. Ashtadasa Dhyanim, which has 18 chapters. Bhagavad Gita, Bhavadveshini, the destroyer of the ignorance. Amba Tvam Anusandadhami, O Mother, I want to discover you. Now let's understand this verse. Madhusudan Saraswati says, O Bhagavad Gita, O Mother, I would like to discover your reality. O Mother Gita, I would like to know your real facts, which are not available for readers. The one who does not have faith, they can read, but they cannot understand the Gita. Without faith, Bhagavad Gita can be read, can be understood its word, can be understood its phrases, and they may assume that they understood Gita, but they do not. So Madhusudan Saraswati is saying here, O Amba. Amba means the mother. Mother means, mother is a symbol of the love. Mother is a symbol of the love, affection. So Madhusudan Saraswati says, O Amba, O my mother, O my divine mother, I would like to discover your hidden message. We believe that our scriptures are alive. We believe that our scriptures is conscious. When we say Satchidanand, see the word Sat Chid Anand. Chid means knowledge. Knowledge is conscious. Knowledge is conscious. Knowledge is not inert. So we believe our scriptures are conscious. If you give the respect to them, then you can find their reality. If you respect them, then the hidden meanings, the meanings are secrets. They can reveal you. So Madhusudan Saraswati says, Amba Tvam Anusandadhami. The very beautiful word is Anusandadhami, Anusandhan. Anusandhan means research, discover. Meanings are there, messages are there, but without faith, without permission, no one can get, no one can attain, no one can understand the meanings. So Madhusudana Saraswati is saying here, O Mother, give me permission. Give me permission. Now next. Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullara Vinda Yatapatra Mitra Enattoya Bharata Taila Purana Prajalito Gyanamaya Pradipaha. Now next one. He says, now I respect to the Vyas. Who is the Vyas? Namostu te Vyasa Vishal Buddhe. Vishal Buddhe. My salutations to Vyas. Vyas is the author of the Bhagavad Gita. Vishal Buddhe. O Vyas, your intellect is extremely sharp. Maharishi Vedavyas was the incarnation of Lord Narayana. He took incarnation to write Puranas, Mahabharata, and the knowledge which is in the Vedas, and everyone cannot understand. So Lord Narayana took incarnation as a Vyas. Namostute Vyasa Vishal Buddhe. So Vishal Buddhe, Bhagavan Vedavyas can understand the worldly objects and simultaneously he can understand the subtle world also. Vishal Buddhe, Pullar Vinda Yatapatra Netram. Your Netram, eyes are like lotus petal. Lotus petals, your vision is very clear. So, the worldly objects and the subtle objects and the subject, nothing secret to you. Namostute Vyasa Vishal Buddhe, Ullar Vinda Yatapatra Netram, Enatoya Bharata Taila Purna. Prajalito Jnanamaya Pradipa. O Vyas, you wrote the Mahabharata. You wrote the Mahabharata. Mahabharata, Jnanamaya, full of knowledge. Mahabharata is the full of knowledge. Jnanamaya Pradipa. Pradipa means light, like a light. Light. In previous ancient time or today too, if you lit a lamp with the oil or with the ghee, so we pour oil into the lamp. The Mahabharata is like a lamp. And Vedavyas always pours the knowledge, it is like oil, Jnanamaya Pradipa. So, Madhusudana Saraswati says, O Vyas, I salute to you. You have wrote Mahabharata, and Mahabharata is Jnanamaya, full of the knowledge. So, these are the salutations to the author of the Mahabharata. And Gita is part of the Mahabharata. So, first, Madhusudan did Namaskar to Bhagavad Gita and took permission. Secondly, he did Namaskara to Vedavyas, the author. Now come. Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraika Panaye Jnana Mudraya Krishnaya Gita Amrita Duhe Nama. Very beautiful verse. My salutations to the Krishna. Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraika Panaye. What Krishna is? He says, Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraika Panaye. Prapanna Parijataya. Prapanna means the person who has surrendered to the Krishna. Who has totally surrendered to the Krishna. And what Krishna does, he bestows all desires of desiring. Prapanna parijataya. Parijat. The methodical word is parijat. Parijat means the tree which fulfill your desires. It is said, it is admits in scriptures, in the heaven there is a tree. We call it parijat or kalpavriksha, a tree which fulfill your desires. So prapanna parijataya. So if anyone goes under that tree and whatever he wants, the tree fulfills their desires. Krishna is like same. Krishna is like same. Prapanna parijataya. Krishna is like this parijat. If someone surrenders itself to the Krishna, and Krishna fulfilled all their desires. Totra vetraika pande. This is a very, very beautiful word. See, when Gita was giving to the Arjuna, there was battlefields. Anytime war is supposed to be happen, anytime. And the role of the Krishna had, he said, I will not fight. He before said, I would not fight. He made clear, I would not fight. And but what role he was playing that time? He was a chariot driver. Chariot driver. What was the job? In chariots, there are horses. Horses means the power, energy. Even today, the nature energy by horses, horsepower. So Krishna was the charioteer. He was driving the chariot. To control the horses, whip. Totra vetraika pande. To control the horses, he had a whip stick, because horses is the energy. If you have energy, you must have control. Uncontrolled energy is cause for deterioration. So Krishna was controller of horses. That is why he had a whip in hand, and another hand, Jnana Mudraya. One hand he had a whip for horses. Another hand he had Jnana Mudra. You know what is Jnana Mudra? Very simple. No need to practice any asana. No need to practice any yoga. Just put together your fingerprint, index print, and thumb. This is Jnana Mudra. Jnana Mudra means you are ready to give knowledge. Bhagavan Shankaracharya, we call him Dakshinamurti. Dakshinamurti. Jnana Mudraya. This is a gesture for indicating that now you are ready to give knowledge. So see the Krishna. Simultaneously, he is playing two roles. He is playing two roles. One is controlling of the horses. Another role is giving the Jnana Mudraya Krishnaya. Then what happens? If your sense organs, your power is controlled, then you listen. Your knowledge becomes nectar. Amrit. Ya Gita Amrita Duhe Namaha. If our sense organs are controlled and we listen, then our knowledge becomes digested. It becomes Amrit, nectar, wisdom. Now next. Saravopanishado gavo dogdha gopala nandana partho bhakta vatsa sudhirabhokta dugdham gitamritam mahat. Gitamritam. Gitamritam bhri. Gitamritam. Amrit means a nectar. Messages in the Gita are like nectar. But our experience is not so. Gita, yes, we have interest in Gita. We read Gita. We chant Gita. Yes. But it is not nectar. We read, we understand. But it looks not like nectar. Just other scriptures, other books, other knowledge. Gita looks very similar. Madhusudan Saraswati says, here is something lacking. Something more are required. And very beautifully, he is saying here, Sharavo Upanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopala Nandana. Now see the meaning, then I will take it for explanation. Sarva Upanishado Gavo, all the Upanishads are cows. The milker is Krishna, the cowherd boy. Arjuna is the calf. Wise and pure man drink the milk. The supreme immortal nectar of the Gita. Here is analogy. Sarva Upanishado Gavo. As I stated before, we believe that our scriptures are alive. We cannot get anything forcefully. We have to be surrendered. Here Krishna giving an analogy like a cow. And I think we all know about the cow. We get milk. We get the milk from the cow. But how? What the procedure? In ashram, I saw it in my Gausala, how one can get milk from the cow. Cow is like a mother. If you want to milk from the cow, first the calf of the cow, you leave. And when the calf goes to the cow, the mother cow becomes so loveful, so compassionate, And her compassion, her love towards the calf becomes milk. She produces the milk. Milk is not just a milk. Milk is a love. Milk is a love. And calf drinks. Then the milkman also take milk from the calf. And milkman gives milk to us. This is the procedure. Very simple procedure. Without this procedure, no one can get milk from the cow. You cannot get milk from the cow forcefully. We can get blood, flesh, bone, skin forcefully. But we cannot get the milk by forcefully. Milk is love. Milk is compassion. Same Madhusudan Saraswati ji giving analogy here. He says, Saravo Upanishado Gavo. Just imagine, all Upanishads are cow, like a cow. Saravo Upanishado Gavo. All Upanishads are like cow. And we want milk from the cow. This is our purpose. We want to milk from the cow, but how? So Krishna, here Madhusudana Saraswati is saying, Saravo Upanishado Gavo. Just think, all Upanishads are like a cow. Then there must be a calf. What is the calf? Calf is Arjuna. Here, in this context, Partho Vatsaha. Partho means the Arjuna. Arjuna like a calf. Arjuna like a calf means he has desire to achieve liberation. Any seeker of the truth is calf. Any person who is chasing to liberation is calf. Arjuna is just a symbol. Saravo Upanishado Gavo. All Upanishads are cow. Saravo Upanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopala Nandana. And there must be a milkman. Milkman. Otherwise, who will milk? So, Madhusudana Saraswati is saying, Krishna is milkman. He can milk. So, Arjuna is like a seeker. Krishna is like a master, like a guru. Saravo Upanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopala Nandana Partho Vatsaha. And then comes milk. Ultimately, milk has come. And what is milk? Essence. Gita. Gita Amritam Mahat. So this Gita is the milk. And for whom? Who will drink this milk? Who will read Gita? Sudhi, pure intellect. The person who has pure intellect. The person to read Gita. As I said before, anyone can read Gita. If you have knowledge of Sanskrit, then you can read in Sanskrit. If you don't have knowledge of the Sanskrit, no problem. There is so many translations in every language. Every language. There is every language. So, reading Gita is not difficult. But understanding Gita is very difficult. Gita is everywhere available. In hard paper, in soft paper, in your screen, in your TV, everywhere Gita can be found. But the messages, the divine messages of the Gita, they are not available for everyone. They are not easy for everyone. Shuddhi, pure-minded person can drink this nectar. Dugdham Gita Amritam Mahat. Now next one. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Now question will ask, who is the Gopal Nandan? In previous verse, we were studying Gopal Nandana. It can be asked, who is the Gopal Nandan? Nandan means the son. Who is the Gopal Nandan? Madhusudana Saraswati ji saying, Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanura Mardanam. He gives very briefly the introduction of Lord Krishna. Very briefly. Vasudeva Sutam Devam. Who is the Krishna? Who is the milkman? Gopal Nandan. He says Vasudeva Sutam. He is the son of the Vasudeva. Vasudeva. And his mother's name was Devaki. Devaki Paramanandam. And what was his activity? Kansa Chanura Mardanam. He killed Kans and Chanur, other demons too. Kansa Chanura Mardanam. So this is the Krishna. Very briefly. Vasudeva Sutam, he is the son of the Vasudeva. His mother is Devaki, and he killed Kans and Chanur. That's Vasudeva, Krishna. And lastly, very beautiful phrase is Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. I salute, I respect to Krishna, who is the world teacher, who is the teacher of the universe. I salute to Krishna, who is the teacher of the universe. All universe is given a message by Lord Krishna. Krishna is Jagat Guru. Means what? Krishna gave the message of the Gita. So Gita is for everyone. Gita is for the universe. Gita is for the everyone. No distinction of caste, creed, age, learned, rich, poor, no. Apart from any condition, the message which was given by Lord Krishna is for everyone. And every time it was relevant in previous ages. It is relevant today and it will be relevant years and years. Krishna is Jagadguru. So Lord Krishna is the master of the universe. I salute. So now see, first he did namaskar to Bhagavad Gita, then he did namaskar to Vyas, and finally he did namaskar to Vasudeva Sri Krishna. Now, Bhishma Drona Tata Jayadratha Jala Gandhara Nilotpalla Shalya Grahavati Krapena Bahani Karane Nabela Kula Aswathama Vikarana Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavai Rana Nadi Kaivartaka Keshavaha. I chant it very fast because I know that you have the mantra. You can read little. And by grace of the gods, what can be achieved? He is giving in another analogy. He says like there is a river, and very big river, and very dangerous river. In this river, there are crocodiles. In this river, there are whirlpools. In this river, the current is very, very fast. It is very deep and very long. So very difficult to cross over the river. Very difficult. But if Krishna bless you, if Krishna blesses you, any problem is not your problem. All problems belong to the God. And God do not have any problem. Krishna is Bhagavan, Almighty. So here, Madhusudana Saraswati is saying, like Mahabharata war was like a big river. Bhishma Drona Tataha. Bhishma and Drona were two banks. The river has two banks. In this bank, in this river, one side was Bhishma, another side was Dronacharya. They were the bank, very dangerous. Jayadratha Jalaha. And Jayadratha, there was a king. His name was Jayadratha. He was like water. Gandhara Nilotpala. Shakuni, the king of Gandhar, was the blue lotus. Shalya Grahavati. There was a king. His name was Shalya. Shalya was the crocodile. Kripa was a priest, very, very strong. Kripa was the tides. And another name is Karan. Karan was mighty waves. Mighty waves. Karanena Vela Kulaha Aswathama Vikarana Ghora Makara. Aswathama and Vikarana were the dangerous alligators. And Duryodhana himself was the whirlpool. So this is a very dangerous river. But Pandava crossed this river of war with Krishna as their boatsman. No matter how many problems you have, how difficulties you have, if you are alone, Every small difficulty can defeat you. If you are supported by the God, God is with you, then there is no difficulty. Then there is no problem. Yeah. With God. God is your strength. God can create the world. God can create the whole universe and destroy too. So Pandavas had very difficulties in their lives. The war of the Mahabharata was so easy. There was Bhishma. There was Dronacharya. They had such strong power, they could not be defeated at any cost. But yatra yogeshwara Krishno yatra partho dhanurdhara tatra Sri Vijayo bhutir dhruva nitir matirmam. If Krishna is with you, no question of your defeat. If God is with you, you are winner. So Pandavas won the fighting of the Mahabharata. Now next one. Parasariya vacha sarojam amalam Gitartha gandhotkatam nanakhyanaka kesharam harikatha sambodhana bodhitam loke sajjan shatpadairahara pepiyamanam buddha bhuyat bharata pankajam kalimala pratvunsanam shreyase. Now, see some things about Mahabharata. Lotus flower of Mahabharata, which arose from the water, which are the word of son of Parasar, which has the pollen, grains of different stories, which is taught in the form of stories of Lord Vishnu, that drunk by the honey bee of very good people, help those who want to remove the like Kali Yuga. May for us a good. Now see, in this verse, he is trying to say, Mahabharata is the words of the Vyas. Parasariya Vachasa. And in this, Gita is very, very good smell. See, Mahabharata, what is giving Mahabharata? Mahabharata gives Gita. In Mahabharata, there are so many other stories. In Mahabharata, there are stories of the gods. And it is pure. Parasariya Bacha Saroj Mamalam Gita Gandhotkam. And he is saying that the good person always takes its interest, takes it, this Kali Yuga, the age of the sin, can be finished by this Mahabharata. Now next, very beautiful verse. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatam ham vande paramananda madhavam. This verse shows the bliss of the God. Mukam karoti vachalam. I salute that Madhav, the source of supreme bliss, whose grace make the dumb man eloquent and the cripple cross mountains. See, Mukam karoti vachalam, very famous verse. Mukam karoti vachalam. Mukam is the person who does not have speech. Mukha means the person cannot speak a single word, speechless. But if God is gracing you, then all powers comes within you. You may have heard in Maharashtra, there was a saint, and he made to speak Veda to a buffalo. Buffalo. Can you imagine that? Buffalo. And he started chanting Vedas because this is effect of the grace. If God grace mukham karoti vachala, then the dumb person can speak very, very well. And the lame person, if God gives grace, he can climb mountain, he can climb Mount Everest. He's trying to say that nothing is impossible to God and nothing is impossible to the person who is blessed with the God. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripa tam ham bande paramananda madhavam. Now last one. Yam brahma varunendra rudra marutastunvanti divyaistavaihi vedai sanga padakrama upanishadere gayantiyam samagaha dhyana avastita tadagatena manasha pashyantiyam yogino yasyantam na vidusura suragana devaya tasmai namah. I salute him who is worshipped by divine chants by Brahma, Varuna, Indra, Rudra and Vayu, who is pleased by singers of Sham Veda, by singing Vedas and Upanishads, by following the words sequence, who is seen by yogis who are absorbed in him with their mind merging in him, and whose end is not known even by the Devas and Asuras. Who is the Lord Krishna? The question was, Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum. Who is that? Actually, what Krishna is? Vasudeva Sutam is a very simple address. What is reality of the Krishna? So he is saying, but Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha. The essential nature of the Krishna is the Brahma, the highest individual soul. Brahma, Varuna, Kuber, Yam, all gods is praying always by divine stotras. Praying, the chanting, all divine stotras, not just begging something. You see, in our prayers, their prayers are less, complaints are more. Oh God, I do not have this. Oh God, I do not have that. I have this problem. I have that problem. Always complaining. Brahma, Varuna, Indra, Rudra, always they pray to the God by divine stuti. All Vedas, including some Veda, they always chanting to the Lord. Vedai Sangha Padakrama Upanishad Gayantiyam Samagaha. The learned person always chanting the name of the God. And yes, the yogis in their meditation, in the state of samadhi, whatever they realize, that is the Supreme God. Yasyantam navidu surasura gana, and no one knows the reality of the Krishna. Yasyantam navidu. No one can say that I know completely Krishna. I know Krishna. I know God. But it does not mean I know completely God. Yasyantam navidu surasura ganaha. Even gods, demons, or any other, no one can say that I know the Lord. You experience. But God is limitless. So how can we know the limit of the God? God is unlimited. If God is unlimited, how can we know the limit of the God? Yasyantam navidu surasu gana devaya tasmai nama. Madhusudana Saraswati says, I salute, I give my respect to that reality, and that reality is a Krishna. Such, he wrote these 9 verses. In these 9 verses, there is a salutation of Gita, the author Vyasa, and Sri Krishna, and his grace. We have done this Dhyanam. For today is enough. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Vadarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Isharo Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayeta. Om